I am eager to hear from Joyce and Nelson about what revolutionary love means to them and what led them to choose this path, what in their own lives has made them so determined and so committed and has helped them remain so resilient. So I don't know, Joyce or Nelson, you want to jump in?
Yeah, well, thank you, Michelle and Damien. I've been wondering what I might say as well, so we'll both be surprised. But we probably would name revolutionary love as beloved community itself. I was so pleased when I first recall hearing that term, revolutionary love, was from younger brothers and sisters, siblings from Black Lives Matter, and just the energetic gatherings when there was discussion of revolutionary love, and then we'd be asked then. And I love the term. I think it is a more up-to-date terminology, but yet beloved community is a lasting one. And I'm sure that most people who are hearing us, seeing us, will relate that to Dr. King and the movement of the 20th century, which is what we grow out of. We, as younger people, much younger, we're 77 and 81 right now. Nelson raised his hand. And I started out at about 15, I think, and probably Nelson was about the same age, though he's 4 years older. And have been blessed to continue. And Michelle, the question is always to us, what sustains you in this beloved community itself? I, as a young person in Richmond, Virginia, from First Baptist Church, hearing the stories about the children of Israel and fighting for freedom and whatever, that was speaking to me in Sunday school and in church. And it was just a period, it's a season just like the season is now. I won't say just like, but similar to the season we're in now. And I felt called to that work. So it was the marching to City Hall for voting rights, open accommodations fight, to be able to sit at the lunch counters. And had no idea I would end up living in Greensboro, where the A&P4 came out of, and then become personal friends with them. Lewis Brandon's right down the hall. He was one who was not one of the four, but worked actively with them. And he's a part of the National Council of Elders, as the two of us are as well. But revolutionary love says that, first of all, it is a change. It's a change from what love has, how it has been characterized. Love itself has not changed. It is sustaining. It is life-giving. It is healing, nurturing. It brings about possibilities that the human mind can't even always think about. But it can then go into places that seem to be cemented over with harshness and racism and white supremacy and all that, yet seeping through those little places that we can't even see with the human eye, make a tremendous difference. So I love the term revolutionary love that can come out. But as I said, translate for me in my terminology, and we've learned to speak different languages of generations at Beloved Community. There are 4 generations of us who work here every day together. So Beloved Community is a term for me, but I fully embrace my understanding of revolutionary love and look forward to it propelling us to an even higher position of humanity as we move forward. But let me stop at that and invite Nelson to add, or maybe even disagree with whatever I've just shared.
Well, our understanding of anything is to grow or it can diminish. I think as long as you stay in the struggle to try to change the conditions of the world for the better, the more you have to grow or give up. And I think that growth draws the best out of us as we engage a world that is a nation that is disloyal to its own creeds and documents, that blatantly accumulate riches at the expense of the poor, that casually makes war on other countries in order to enrich itself. Living through all of that gives you a different perspective of the nation, first of all, but it also gives you a different perspective of what it takes to change it. And that's where I think the term revolutionary love comes in. It's not a plaything. It's not in the 60s, we would have fun and were somewhat unaware of the danger we were in oftentimes. That's not true anymore. People around you are starving. People are reduced to shooting each other. Folk don't have a place to stay that's warm and comforting. All of that actually are social conditions going in the wrong direction. What does it take to not only confront them, but to change it? It's not a plaything. It's not something where you can give a speech or do a monkey flip or whatever, and it changes. It requires a deep commitment. And I think that's what the revolutionary dimension of it really means. That it requires a growth in us that comes out in a way that affirms life and affirms the neighbor and affirms the next nation, that it doesn't get in line to volunteer to go to Vietnam, but actually it equips you to say no to those things. I'm not going to do that. It violates the very core of love that I've come to understand. To run into another nation and start killing people and giving the land to the rich. And as you grow in that way, if your love doesn't grow, it won't match that. And it gets overshadowed by that. So I think the term revolutionary love is appropriate for this period where we are confronted with climate change, where we're confronted with different forms of racism, where poverty grows in our neighborhood. What is the quality of the soul that can stand against that? And to do it with a certain amount of, I'm reluctant to use the word joy, but with a certain amount of contentment and commitment. This is what I was born to do. I think that is revolutionary love. And I do think that it is a requirement of the period that we were in. And in a sense, King was hitting that pretty hard, but it has gotten worse since they killed King. That it would require a deeper commitment by a greater array of people in order to qualitatively transform this nation from what it has become to being more of a beloved community.